I've actually got one final question from Alan, our videographer, who's got his own video production business. So I'm going to vacate the seat for a few minutes, and he's got a great question for you, and I'll let him take the place.
Finally, we can shake
Hi,
hands,
Alan.
sit across from each other.
Yes.
I had actually a different question prepared because I didn't really get to know you yet, but since I was listening for a little bit, you pretty much answered my question, kind of. It was about hiring and people, which I really appreciate your style, and I enjoyed the idea of the 4-day week. Sounds really incredible. So I wanna see how it works in the future when I hire some people. I'm by myself at the moment, but I will hire some people in the future relatively soon because I'm getting more and more work. The question I want to ask instead was, since the title of the interview is about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, right? So the question would be, if it's ordinary people doing those amazing things, at some point they might question themselves and have this imposter syndrome that I heard a lot of entrepreneurs have. So if you ever had that, or you know kind of the way to go around it.
Well, it was funny, there's something on TV in the last week, and my wife, who's really into a whole host of philosophers and people who are in HR and learning development. And she was quoting some research that shows we are actually all imposters every minute of every day in our lives. So when you're out doing something socially, you act in a way that you believe is acceptable, which is not necessarily exactly like you, Alan, but you'll do it because you want to fit in. In a business situation, you may act differently. So we are actually imposters, and in some respects people like people that are like them. So being chameleon-like is actually a bit of a skill, and whether I would call it being an imposter, you're being someone who's not naturally you, however there is a core that you want to maintain. So for me, it's high integrity. If it's not the right thing to do, you shouldn't be doing it. Therefore, I would never be an imposter and be low integrity, for example. However, when you're hiring people, I've always had that philosophy that really this is like extending your arms out, and new people are just an extension to your arms. They give you more capacity and a longer reach. However, they need to have the same values as you have to be a true extension. So often people can hire on skill, not an attitude, whereas it's easier to hire an attitude, not skill. But there's a whole host of things that care has to be taken when hiring someone to get someone that has the same values as you, because if you look at businesses that go through a set of values that lead to a culture, I've had lots of debates about when do you establish your business values. Well, actually, you've got your business values right now, and the key thing is to establish them right now, because when you hire someone, you want to say, here are my values. They are high integrity, total respect, excellence in everything you do. So it could be these type of values. So they know when they're signing that social contract as well as the employment contract, they're buying into your values, because you want someone to have the same values as you. And as a result, as you build and grow your team, you will create a culture that's resonant with these values. And I think that's so important early on. It sounds as if, well, you get to your values and culture sort of thing when you're bigger. But the answer is you don't. Because if you hire me, and because I've got a skill, but I have different values to you, there's going to be some conflict at some point, because I'll disagree with you. I say, I don't think that's a value at all. And it's better to do that early on. So it's better to hire someone with the same values and the right attitude than it is to hire someone with the right skill and different values. And that's, I think, in the early days, you've got so many hats, you don't know what to do. And when you're expanding, and you hire usually after you need to, because you can't afford to, so you wait until you're overwhelmed, and therefore just take the pain away and get someone in can often be what you resort to, rather than I'm going to take my time and wait another month to try and get the right person in.
All right. So take my time, write a list of values. I think that's the important one.
Yeah, write a list of values, what you stand for, and say, when I'm hiring you, you're buying into my values. And they may say, I don't have the same values. We say, that's fine, but I want to find someone who has.
Sure. Well, thank you.
Good.
Appreciate that.
Okay.